I'm sure you guys have heard this name before. Good Vito, professional bodybuilder, freaky as hell. The guy has all the potential in the world, but can he bring the package to the stage when it matters? When the lights are on, the judges are judging, and he's got to be perfect on that stage. Can he deliver? We're going to talk about that right now. Guys, don't forget, I have 2 products out now with Old School Labs. Nitro 3D, your intra-workout. Anyone could use this. If you're wanting to take your workouts to the next level, Nitro 3D. You sip on this throughout your entire workout. Now, if you haven't crossed over to the dark side yet, check out Natty. We just released this formula. And even if you're on the dark side, no problem. You can bridge with this as well. And if you want to save money, use Nick BS. So let's talk about Good Vito because he has had a ton of press on him lately because he's the real deal. This guy brings a really spectacular physique to the stage. Now, the one thing that I'm still not convinced yet on is the conditioning. His skin still has that filmy thickness look to it. He is very young, so I'm going to give him that. He's not even in his late 20s yet. Allegedly, this kid is like 25, 26, 27, somewhere in there. So if that's the case, no problem. Have all the thick skin you want because that will eventually get thinner as he gets older. And as he builds more muscle, as he diets down more and does show prep after show prep, the skin will also get thinner because that baby fat, I like to call it, the subcutaneous fat, those fat cells will dissolve. You eventually dissolve a lot of them and lose a lot of those fat cells because you've done so many preps and your body just stays leaner now. And basically you reset your body at a certain point every time you do a show prep. So the more preps you do, the more condition you can get, the more mature your muscle looks, and also the better condition you can hold after a show, in between shows. So the off season where you blew up to 300 pounds, well, now that 300 pounds, the next time you get there is going to look 10 times better. And the next time you hit that 300 pounds again, it's going to look 10 times better from there. So you only get better as you do more shows, as you prep longer, and imagine what Good Vito could look like in 3 to 5 years. He won't even be 30 years old yet. He'll just be at 30 years old. Thinking about that, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm not worried about right now. I don't really care what he does right now. He's a baby still. He just turned pro and he still hasn't figured it out yet. He's got plenty of time to learn. So I'm not trying to put too much pressure on the kid right now because I know if he sticks with it and he doesn't rush it, which we're going to talk about in a second, where I see him rushing it, he's going to do really well. And everyone, I'm not just saying this, I only say this for certain people, everyone in the IFBB that's an open bodybuilder should be very worried about him. He can knock out anyone. He has all the tools. He has a very balanced, symmetrical physique. And he has that freak factor that the judges eat up. They love when the freaks walk out. And also they have all the tools and they bring conditioning. And he's even got a personality. If you watch any of his socials, you know he's a goofy guy. He's funny. He's smiling. He's laughing. He's enjoying himself. Even during like the really last couple weeks of prep where it gets really dark and ugly and hard, the kid's still smiling. Now, that doesn't mean he's not working hard. It just means he really enjoys what he does. And you could tell this kid loves bodybuilding. Remember, he's from a very small area. I don't want to get this wrong, but I think he's from Russia, somewhere over there at least. He left there, moved his entire life, and I believe his girlfriend even, to Brazil to pursue bodybuilding. This kid's dedicated. He wants it. He's all in. He's got nothing else going for him except bodybuilding. I don't mean that in an insulting way. I just mean this is what he does. This is his life. This is what he wakes up every day thinking about. This is what he goes to bed thinking about. He's all in. So he's very dangerous for anyone that competes right now. And I think he can make a big splash rather quickly. And I think he could easily win his first pro show that he does. I'm not sure what show he's doing. I honestly forgot if I did know. And I don't think this is going to be a tall task for him to win the pro show. Now, at the Olympia, he's going to be challenged because that conditioning, that maturity, that experience, all those things are going to obviously be exposed a lot more at the Olympia because now you're against everyone that's really good, right? You have to qualify to get to the Olympia. You have to win a show now. So you're against the best. So the best, they usually have a little more experience typically, right? Most of those guys on the Olympia stage have been there before, have been competing for a while. They're not in their rookie season, just won their first pro show and showing up at the Olympia. He's probably the only one there this year that's doing that, if he does qualify this year. So he's going to be the odd man out. And sometimes your nerves are going to get to you. Actually, all the time your nerves are going to get to you in that position. You're excited. Your adrenaline's going. You just want to show up. You want to meet everybody. You just want to get the experience in, but you also want to do well. And it's hard to balance all those feelings and emotions when you're that young. You don't know what to expect. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how people are going to receive you. You don't know how the other bodybuilders are going to receive you. There's going to be haters. There's going to be jealous people. There's going to be people that like you. There's going to be people that pretend to like you. It's going to be a lot for him to take in for a first timer, especially when he doesn't even speak English, right? That's going to be another hurdle he has to go over eventually, that he's got to learn English. I mean, Rami learned English. He's really good at English now. Hadi says 3 words. The other guys that don't speak English very well, where do you see them? Nowhere. He's got to learn English. He's got to learn English. And that will take his career from here. Fucking sky's the limit. Forget about it. The guy will blow up, literally blow up if he learns to speak English and he has that personality and he has that physique. Woo! But back to the things I said that I think he was doing wrong. He's like rushing already. The spot injections. We noticed that his quads have some weird lumps to them, right? Definitely imbalances, as the head judges like to call it. And I think he better stop doing that. Actually, I know he should stop doing that. His legs are big enough. He doesn't need any more sweep. Whoever's in his corner advising him besides Aceto needs to sit him down like this, man to man, and be like, Good Vito, do you want to make this a career? Or do you want to have 1 to 3 years on top and then crash and burn? You got to answer that question, Good Vito. Do you want success immediately or do you want it for a long time? And it's going to take a little bit to build. But do you want to have a career in bodybuilding or do you want to have a flash of a career and be done? Because I'm not talking about just those little spot injections in his quad. I'm talking about, obviously, he wants to push the envelope. He's probably willing to go far beyond what other people are willing to do with the PEDs and whatever else he's doing. So if that's just the beginning of it, that's where it starts with a couple spot injections. And then it turns into the next level. And then it goes to the next level. And then before you know it, Good Vito is no longer good. He's gone. It's gone, Vito. He's sayonara. He was here for a little bit. Thanks for coming. But yeah, he didn't have what it takes. I hope that doesn't happen to him. I really don't hope that doesn't happen to him. And I'm looking forward to see him compared next to Nick and Derek and Hadi and Andrew and Samson and all these up-and-comers and guys that have been there for a little bit. Because he's going to shake things up. You guys watch and see.